Good morning. Welcome to Courageous Conversations. My incredible guest, Jhannell Edwards. You are so glad you're here. Now, everybody who's joining us, I'm just going to do a little bit of sharing because I want us to get everyone in on the fun.
Absolutely. Let's join the fun, everybody. Grab your tea, grab your coffee.
I mean, we're giving people information that I think is really, really valuable. So I'm just going to share on my group, which is Courageous Conversations, which it's a support group for people who are making courageous choices. So please join us at some point. It's really good stuff there. And also on my Courageous Conversations page, which you can hop on over there at some point to do some liking. But thank you for joining us as you are. And just say hi to Jhannell Edwards and Victoria, myself. As you know, I'm a registered psychotherapist. And today we're going to talk about, real estate. But more importantly, I'll tell you what. Real estate is just a vehicle, I feel, to financial success. Yeah. But really, I want to talk about the psychology of financial success. And I really want to talk about something that you brought forth when I asked you, what are we going to talk about? Which is the cultural taboos to financial success. Absolutely. Let's start there. I like to dig in right away. Hi, Tamara. Nice to see you. I'd like to dig in right away. Jhannell, tell us, firstly, a little bit about what you believe is a cultural taboo to financial success. I really want to talk about that because you've obviously dug into that for yourself.
Absolutely.
And talk to us over here.
Hi. Well, first and foremost, good morning. And I want to thank Victoria so much for this platform. I'm so appreciative to be here.
Glad you're here.
Yeah. So I agree. Let's dig deep. Let's talk a little bit about the financial taboos and the cultural taboos, I should say. And I'm also going to say a disclaimer that I am still on this journey myself.
Exactly.
Okay.
Which is why you're here, because you're having a courageous conversation.
Absolutely.
This is not about we got this. It's not like we've handled it. No. We're working on it. We're working on it. And so are you, and we're in this journey together. That's what I love about this.
Absolutely.
Okay. And you are majorly someone I admire, by the way, Jhannell. This wonderful woman has a little baby girl. What's her baby girl's name?
India.
Oh, I love her name. India. That's great. And you're a single mom too.
I am.
And you're beating all the you're beating all the sort of, classic stereotypes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell everyone about that a little bit.
Yeah. So, I am a proud mother to a phenomenal toddler daughter. And I am a single mom, but I'm not a single parent. So I also want to just shout out the men out there who, I'm one of the lucky ones who I still do have her father who is very active in her life. And I choose to have a relationship where co-parenting is no longer aggressive or mean or, spiteful, that we're in harmony to make sure that our daughter is raised as best as we can.
And that's because you guys decided to do that.
100%.
Because it could have been ugly.
And there were times, people, where it was ugly.
Yeah, but you chose to go away from that.
100%.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Again, beating the stereotype in its butt. I really love this. Exactly. I love this. So talk a little bit more about that, just your journey and what you faced in terms of cultural taboos.
Yeah, well, I would say it started, as I kind of dug deep, it started from when I was young and the subconscious ideals around money, right? It was never spoken about in my household. It was like things would just kind of appear in terms of, food on the table, clothes on your back. I was taught, take your money, save it in the bank, work hard.
You did get taught that.
Yeah, taught, but not really explained. Just more so you kind of see what your parents do.
Right.
And, everything was kind of swept under the rug, very hush-hush.
Okay.
As I grew older, I would say I was very, very a hardworking individual. By the time I was 13, I was working. I was as a camp counselor. I was teaching kids from the ages of 3 to 13 sports. And then that progressed into a variety of jobs, everything from retail to car companies, everything under the bus. And I was noticing that I was making money, but I couldn't hold on to it. My
that's
money
interesting.
It was kind of going out as quickly as it came in.
Right.
And I was feeling very depleted.
Right.
I saw this vision for myself that I wanted more, that I wanted to have that life that all of these gurus talk about, right? Have the life of abundance and to live on purpose and to not be strapped down financially. But I was like, what the heck? I'm doing everything that I thought I was taught to do, working 40 plus hours a day or a week. At times I was working 2 jobs.
Wow.
When I was pregnant, I was working almost 3.
Whoa.
Just to make ends meet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I would say I had several coming to Jesus moments, and maybe you guys want to call them aha moments, where I said, this really and truly isn't working. I'm on this rat wheel.
Yeah.
Right? Some people have attributed to reading books or going to seminars, and I did both of those.
And you lived it too.
And I lived it.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until I got to my rock bottom, which was...
Now, what was your rock bottom?
My rock bottom was when the breakup that I had and taking care of my daughter, and not to mention losing what I thought kind of was me, meaning the friends and even certain family members, and kind of going now on this streak by myself.
Yeah.
Where
what
I
a
had
journey
to,
on your own with that.
Absolutely.
And not a lot of family in the city.
None. Like, no family in the city.
Wow.
Had to pretty much do everything on my own. I remember taking the bus, and, it's kind of first world problems, let's be real. Like,
oh, you're sweet.
But at the same time, it is difficult. There's
Yeah.
times where I felt ashamed, culturally, being a Black woman and, kind of being, again, put under that umbrella as a single mom.
Yeah.
It was devastating.
Wasn't what you had planned for yourself.
Not at all.
No.
Not at all. I envisioned the white picket fence, the wedding, all of that good stuff. But
which still is going to happen, I feel.
I feel so too.
Yeah, I feel that will happen for you. But real estate it has become like a real, a gateway for you toward financial success. And how has that journey been for you?
Absolutely. So once upon a time, I never wanted to get into real estate. I thought real estate was crummy. I thought it was for everyone but me.
Okay.
My family, I lived in an owned home when I was young, but we weren't investors.
No.
So it was brand new.
It was a new world for you.
It was a completely new world. I actually was in the hospitality realm for over 10 years, planning events from across the country.
Wow.
And and it wasn't until I stumbled upon a good old book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and read that
What's his name? Mikawa?
Robert Kiyosaki.
Kiyosaki, exactly.
And it really enlightened me. And then I started going to real estate meetup groups. And I wasn't a realtor, I wasn't an investor, but I would go. And I found them fascinating. Yeah. That there was this world of investing where you could buy property, you could flip it, you could do that. Not to mention I started getting addicted to HGTV and all that good stuff. But I said, no, I need to go deeper. There's something way deeper than just the, what we see on the outside of the architecture and the paint and all that good stuff. And even the potential to make money. Yeah. Real estate can really and truly impact lives. Yeah. And impact lives.
I agree.
If you, and not only lives, but communities. At the end of the day.
I love that you talk about it at that level. It's not just about money. It's about connection and communities. And you're like breaking barriers with it, I feel. Absolutely. So that's continue to highlight that, but I just love that you talk about that. That's why you're here, by the way. Absolutely. You're not just some real estate agent selling your services, because that's not my style. That's not our style. No. This, I'm wanting to have a courageous conversation about money, about breaking past the barriers, and about cultural taboos. A woman of color, breaking past her sort of. You're just doing it. You're punching through. Doing it. Yeah. And I would say that it's not something that I woke up in the morning and said, hey, I'm going to do it. And it's still a daily practice. Every morning I wake up and I do my best to put myself in a positive mindset. My girlfriend called me this morning to read me Bible scriptures. I try to be as positive. Shout out to the Positive People Army. Positive People Army, yes. Thank you. As positive and making sure that my sphere is filling me up. So, and it's a daily practice. What fears do you think you've overcome and that people need to overcome around, overcoming financial failure? Like, it's something I want you to address specifically. Well, what's a real concrete step people have taken emotionally, that you've taken emotionally? Yeah. to get past the financial fear?
The thing that I had to get clear with is money is meant to be fluid. Money is not meant to sit and just stay. It is meant to move. It is meant to be transactional.
Right. Interesting.
And it's also what you do with that money. The same $1,000, right, could do either good or bad.
That's
put
true.
it in. It depends on the person in which you put that $1,000 in.
Yeah.
And the intentions behind it.
Yeah.
So what I would say is something that I had to get used to is, how do I move that money?
Yeah.
Because it's not meant to remain
So you would hold on to it.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I would leave it in my bank account and hide it under mattresses and put it in my little containers, and it's like it stays put. But
It doesn't do anything.
It doesn't do anything. And when you look at just even the law of attraction and
Caroline.
And how the world operates, everything is meant to be transactional, and it's meant to move.
Yes.
That's why even if you don't work out, you start getting a little bit achy breaky.
Yes.
If you don't travel, you kind of sit within your own box, and that's the same kind of attitude that you need to have towards money. It's not meant to just sit and remain. It's meant to move.
How did you get over the fear of moving money?
Oh, wow. It took some time, but when I got to the point where I was like, this money's not doing anything for me, where I'm working, I'm getting a paycheck, and I'm paying bills, and I have a very little over to live, to do what I need to do, that's when I was like, okay, things got to change. I was renting for over 9 years of my life, and I was, still scraping by. And not renting in the most ideal neighborhoods as well. Yeah. And I had to take the courage to say, all right, I need to move this money. I need to invest, not only just for myself, but also to create a legacy. I would also say my daughter attributed to it. Yeah. Now that it's no longer just about me. Right. It's also about my daughter.
Because we're living, breathing examples of what our children, I don't have kids, but what young people are going to be looking at and imitating. Absolutely. They're just going to be watching. They're just like, observing. It's like, what are you doing? Oh, I'll do the same. Yeah. Essentially. Absolutely. And so you really became an example to that little girl.
I do my best. I do my ultimate best.
Well, no, but you really do succeed at it. I do see that. I really do see that. And so what was the moment where you realized, okay, I'm changing. It's shifting. What was that moment? Was there a moment, or was it just a series of moments?
There was a series of moments, but I would say some of the moments that really stood out to me were when people started to approach me. And because I kind of have this girlfriend talk mentality. Let's chat. Let's talk about how I can help you. Beyond just the finances. And people would come up to me and they would say, hey, Jhannell, like, I listened to some of the stuff you put on Facebook about your trials, your tribulations, about being a single mom or dealing with some of the financial barriers that you went through, and it touched me. And I was like, oh my God, like I'm out here touching people? What the heck?
That's amazing.
And it just took, one or two people to come up to me and say, wow, Jhannell, like what you said was so incredibly powerful. And I want to learn more. I want to understand more. How can you help me? And when women from all walks of life were coming up to me, and divorced women, women who have lost their spouses, women who've even lost their children. One of the most remarkable conversations I had, which was why I was like, this is deeper than just transactional. Yeah. Any realtor out there can just buy and help you sell a property, but it's so deep. I had a woman who reached out to me and she said, look, I lost my son, my only son, to violence here in the city. And I found you and I just wanted to talk to you because my son, before we were living in a up and coming neighborhood, but they decided to move out of there because they embarked on violence and it wasn't the most desirable place to live. And her son was the one who helped her buy a property, and they bought a property together, and he was helping her pay the bills and being just an incredible son. Oh, wow. And his life was cut short and unexpectedly. And so she's now at a predicament where she's like, you know, I don't know if I can keep up with this property financially. All of my dreams are, you know, crushed in a matter of moments.
Wow.
And I need help.
Yeah.
And sorry, I'm getting shivers while I'm talking about this.
Me too. This is such a deep story.
So real estate and property this is where people live. People hold memories here. Yeah. This is your home.
Did this woman get some help?
We are in the midst of helping her. So we are in the midst of helping her because, of course, she's right now figuring out whether or not she wants to keep the property and sell. So we're going to help coach her through that.
We're going to just pray for that to happen,
Absolutely.
to that happen. Please,
Absolutely.
Universe, make that occur for this woman. Yeah.
And it's more than just, you know,
sending her the good vibes.
Sending her tons of good vibes. And she's not the only one. There's plenty of people around the world, within our corridor, within your next door neighbor even perhaps, who are going through hardships and who have to contemplate what to do when it comes to their own property.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's more than just let's sell and, you know, get it on the market and, you know, move on. There are many intricate steps.
Do you ever experience fear of financial success? Is that something that you have confronted as well?
Oh my gosh, I have, and I would say I'm still working on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had fear for the longest time.
What was a fear that would show up about financial success, do you think?
I think that, you know,
or people might experience, right? Yeah.
Well, once upon a time, I was, you know, I hung out around a group of people, and I think God works miracles all the time.
Yes.
But I was afraid to, you know, be financially successful in fear of losing them. Because I figured that if I didn't reach certain goals or strive for certain financial goals, that I would then now lose what I knew. And then what I quickly realized was the universe or God said, listen, I need you to be the best version of yourself. Nice. You are deserving of all things. You are deserving of abundance, of financial freedom. And I need to remove you.
Yeah.
I need to remove you. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hurtful. But I need to remove you because you are meant to be on a trajectory towards greatness, but not greatness to gloat, greatness to help other people.
Right.
Greatness so that your own testimony, you know, coming from where I've come from, being a single mom, living on my own here in Toronto, going into thousands of dollars in debt. I've been thousands of dollars in debt, and I'm still working my way out.
That must have freaked you right out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Thousands of dollars in debt, paying off student loans, you know,
good job.
Being
Nicely
fired
done.
From jobs.
Good work.
The amount of jobs that I was fired from before I took my leap of faith and entered into the entrepreneurial realm.
Yeah, you weren't meant for those jobs. You were meant for entrepreneurial realm.
100%.
You know, so and you're so well suited in this realm. It's such a great. It's a great fit for you. What's the first thing someone can do to emotionally get ready? To emotionally get ready, and to maybe spiritually get ready, and energetically get ready to step into financial success. What do you think the first thing people need to do? Put you right on the spot, girl.
Absolutely. So from a spiritual perspective, start declaring it in your life. Start declaring it in your life that you are deserving to be wealthy.
Yes.
That being wealthy doesn't make you evil.
Yeah.
That being wealthy doesn't make you a snake. It doesn't mean that you are, you know, to yourself. No. That being wealthy gives you the opportunity to help others.
That's right.
And we are on this world. We are meant as individuals. We are meant to help other people.
That's right.
Which is why when you speak to, and you know, please reply below. And I'm sure that you guys have come into circumstances in your life where if you've helped somebody, it made you feel so good.
Yeah.
Even if it was opening the door for somebody.
Yeah. But you have to be whole and full and declaring that you're valuable.
Absolutely.
That you have a sense of worthiness and value so that you can start to attract toward yourself the opportunities and the finances. And then from that full cup, you can give to others.
Absolutely.
So the first thing is start to declare to the universe that, you know, you are valuable.
100%.
Yeah. And deserving.
And deserving. To be wealthy, you're deserving.
And what's step number 2 on a practical level?
So on a practical level is you need to start writing things down.
That's right.
So get out your journal, get out a piece of paper, get out a notepad, get out whatever device you can, and start writing down your goals. So wealthy means something different to everyone else.
That's right.
Your wealthy will be different than mine. Your wealthy is different than mine. So what does that look like? Does it look like you want to travel, you know, X amount of times a year? And many people say this, right? We hear it all the time to write down your goals, but really and truly write it down. And I will also say, and take the next step and put a price tag next to it. So let's say, for example, next year you want to take a Europe trip. What does that price tag look like? Do the research.
And start working towards saving that.
And start working towards it. Let's say that you want to buy a property next year. What type of property is it that you want to buy? What does it look like? Where is it? What's that price range?
And you know, one thing I do when I do financial work with clients, because as a holistic psychotherapist, I work with all aspects. If you can track it, you can actually if you can track your spending and record your spending, you can change it. If you can track it, you can change it. People say, well, you know, I've got all these, you know, spending habits, and that's just the way I'm built. I'm like, no. Anything that you want, you can change.
Absolutely.
So track your spending. Write it all down. Get it on an app and start to see where you actually spend your money. And there are places you can save your money. This I know. This is important.
I also wanted to say something that I'll come out right with it. Something that I had for the longest time was the victim mentality. I thought for the longest time that this stork is going to come out of the air and just drop me $1 million and I'll be fine. Or that, you know, a man is going to come and swoop me off my feet and he's going to be filthy rich and take care of all my problems. Listen, honey, forget about it. Okay? And
not happening.
Not happening.
I mean, it might, but it's not something you want to count on.
Exactly. And it's not something that you even want to wish for. Let's start working on yourself. Work on yourself and watch. And even if it's little by little, step by step, take the necessary steps to get you onto a path of understanding, of financial awareness, and uncover some of those blemishes. It's going to hurt. If you
be prepared for that.
Be prepared. If you're the person who, you know, doesn't bother looking at your bills or haven't taken a look at your credit card statement in years or months, if you aren't analyzing where your money's going, if you're just kind of shopping with cash and not knowing and tracking, let's pull that Band-Aid off, baby. And let's take a look at it and get deep and get real.
That's right.
And don't have that victim mentality. And I had it. And I thought that, hey, if maybe my parents will take care of me or maybe my significant other or no. Take care of yourself. Your children should not be your insurance policy. Neither are your parents. Neither is your spouse. You know, focus on you and how you can get better.
So many people are afraid to look at their finances because there's some shame involved.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like they feel bad about themselves if they look at their credit card bill. I want you to forgive yourself. Just forgive yourself right now, this minute, this second. I want you to just let go of the shame. Let go of the negative talk that you may be ingesting so that you can actually come. And there's no way around the mountain. There's no way around the mountain. Go through the mountain and come out the other side. The mountain's going to be painful a little bit, but be prepared for a little pain so that you can come out the other side. And there's such an opportunity on the other side, I feel. I feel that financial, like one of the things I ask people to do is take an inventory of what you learned from your parents and grandparents about money, or from your school, from your church. What did you learn about money? And see if there's in there some really negative beliefs about money. You know, money's dirty. You know, dirty people are the ones that want to be part of the wealthy. You know, and wealthy people are crooked. No, make friends. There's a great book by Phil Lout called "Money Is My Friend." I recommend that book immensely. And it's a spiritual text, but it's also a really great way to undo the beliefs that you may have about money. And financial fears are sitting under there in the subconscious realm,
Oh yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
And you got to open it up to really look at it, and then begin to declare that you're worthy, and then track your spending. Track your spending and track your thoughts about money. Write it all down. Don't just let it be there, sitting there, poisoning you.
Absolutely.
This is so important. As a holistic psychotherapist, I look at all aspects of a person's life, and your money problems are your life problems.
Yeah.
Your money problems are your life problems. So look at your money problems. Be aware of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it wasn't until I took a look at them myself and I pulled off the Band-Aid was until I was able to get myself out of $20,000 worth of debt.
Yeah, high five on that. Wow.
Yeah, I started my entrepreneurship journey, got into real estate full time, quit my job. I was working.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I was working at the government. Quit my government job to help people, and now I'm on a path. Oh, and not to mention, bought my own property and buying properties. Yes, and not to mention, thank you, and helping others do the same.
That's right.
And also starting an initiative to actually give back to the community, and it begins with kids. So look out for it. Beginning of 2019, I'm going to be releasing a children's book about financial literacy and owning real estate.
Oh, it begins with teaching kids. I mean, one of the most important things people can do is teach children about their money, their finance, and to save, and what that looks like, and the value of money, and what money actually does and is. So you've got a children's book. What's it going to be? Can you release the name as yet, or you want to hold that?
Yeah, well, it's called Finding the Perfect Home.
Okay.
Yes, and it's showcasing kids from from a variety of cultural and religious backgrounds.
Nice.
Because hey, we need some more representation in our children's books. That's number one.
Big time.
And number two,
so true.
It's showcasing these kids on a journey, working together to actually purchase a property, renovate a property, and ultimately give that property back to their community.
Amazing.
In this book, kids are going to learn the basis of what's a down payment, what is credit, how to save your money, working with mortgage lenders, and what is a mortgage. And then, of course, the fun stuff, right? Renovating and painting and all that good stuff to then present this property to their community. And this property is ultimately an orphanage for their community. So we're excited, and it's going to spearhead a series of books because one thing that we know, and we can see it in our communities today, that there is a huge lack of financial literacy. We're taught economics in school. We're taught, science, biology, which of course they're critical things too, but
where's the money? Where's the financial literacy?
Where's the money, baby? and we see it time and time again where our young folks are getting credit cards at young ages and
getting into debt, and then not being able to pay that debt off, and then ruining their credit rating.
Absolutely.
That is just so sad for me when I think about it. I can't tell you how many clients have done that. That I know. It's like, their credit rate, I could never, and then that takes years to repair.
Exactly.
Years to repair.
Exactly. And some of the people that I've spoken to, and including myself, it's like once upon a time when we were young and we'd get our first paycheck, we'd blow it. We'd blow it on, foolish stuff.
Yeah.
But
no one was saying to you, hey, what are you doing with that money?
What are you doing with that money?
And actually stopping and listening to that.
Right.
So tell us where we can find you. That's another thing. Tell the people about your website.
Absolutely.
And how they can be in touch with you.
Absolutely. So, my name is Jhannell Edwards. You can find me on all social media platforms. So, Facebook, Instagram, and as well as LinkedIn. You can find me at Jhannell Edwards. That's spelled JHANNELLEDWARDS. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook, and my website, which is www.jhannelledwards.com.
Oh, you're so wonderful. And really, I'm so proud of you because I know you've come through. You've really come through on so many levels. And you guys can too. It's like, Jhannell's journey is a really beautiful example of how you can come through by analyzing your beliefs, by looking at what it is that you actually believe about money, but also about success and about also pounding down the cultural taboos.
Absolutely.
So nicely done.
Thank you so much.
I really, really, really appreciate you being here.
Yes.
Yeah. Last question. What's the most important thing people should think about? And I'm putting you right on the spot.
Put it on.
Yeah.
On the spot,
What's the most important thing people should think about when they are about to take the leap of faith that you've taken? What should people think about? What should people, to get them to the other side? Tell us. But right on the spot.
The seeds that you plant today
Yeah.
are going to reap. They might not reap today. They might not reap tomorrow, but they will reap. And
Right.
there is somebody who is going to enjoy the fruits of your labor. And just the same way how we're somehow enjoying the fruits of the labor of somebody who planted a seed long time ago.
Right.
It's the same thing that's applying. So take care of the seed that you're planting and continue to nurture it, continue to water it. So if you have a seed to be financially free, to own real estate, to
And let's just be real, not even financially free, maybe just financially kind of in the world where you're not massively in debt and you're maybe owning a little bit of property. It's not like, oh, millionaire. It's like just being balanced financially and adult financially.
100%.
Yeah.
One of the greatest quotes I've ever heard was, having money is up there with oxygen, right?
I like it.
We need it. We do need it to survive, right? And if we had a little bit more of it, it could in many ways help us. But again, we want to make sure that the money doesn't have the power over us.
Yeah.
That's where we can get into issues, into problems.
Yeah.
So again, making sure that that money is fluid, that you are investing. And of course, it's not
And
the goal
giving.
Yeah. And if your goal is to be a millionaire, heck, all hats to you.
Yeah.
If your goal is to live a life where you don't have to worry about your finances on a daily basis, then that's fantastic
Absolutely.
too.
Jhannell Edwards, nicely done.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
again for showing up to Courageous Conversations. Tomorrow,
Yes.
I'll be coming at you once again with a courageous conversation. And I just want to say, Jhannell, that you are so delightful, so right on. You're someone whom I admire immensely. So check out Jhannell Edwards' website and share this information because I think this will be helpful to share it widely. So blessings to you. Hit the finish button.
Thank
Have
you
a
guys.
great
And this
day.
woman is amazing. Continue to watch her stuff. She is honestly shifting the atmosphere.
Thank you, my
for
love.
having me on here.
Mutual Admiration Society. So continue to have a courageous conversation with yourself and someone else and with life. And we'll talk at you very soon.
Have a great day,
Bye.
guys.
Take care. Bye.